Starting early.
All right, we're live here. 1 second, folks. Waiting for Junior as always.
Shish. Bum, 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 bum. Crappy internet.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're live.
Woo! We're live.
All right, hello, Patriots. Welcome to Fed Up with Politics. He's Jack, I'm Dennis. And Mike and Jack Jr. are in the background. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good job, fellas. So we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance for one reason. We support the United States of America. This is our flag and everything it represents. Unfortunately, there's a few haters out there in this country. The grand old US of A. They can't stand our way of life. They just hate. Like last week, we were one of our Facebook group, on our United States Constitutional group. We had a lady by the name of Jenna. Don't know if she's trying to get under her skin, but she said she hated it here in America. She hated the Pledge of Allegiance. So I can't see why she would lie. She hates this country so much, I told her to leave. Go to Haiti or something. I mean, we don't need her here. Just like we don't need Whoopi or Rosie or Donald and you need Bihar or whatever. Jane Fonda. You know, hey, we respect her opinion.
Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, hey, we respect her opinion. I'm glad this country gave her freedom of speech so she can hate America. This is part of the reason why we need to get rid of these current politicians. Because they give out. They take care of the people that don't want to do nothing and hate America. They screw the veterans. They screw the hardworking men and women of this country. And she says she lives off of welfare and will take all the benefits she can get. In my opinion, she's a scumbag. America so much, why does she live off the people? Get rid of her. Somebody blocked her, so I can't see exactly what she wrote, and have you guys get a chance to respond to her and give her a piece of your mind. If you've seen it, I know you would. Just another far-left coward who has no clue about this country and the freedoms we still have, although being challenged by these bums in office. You know, these are people we don't want in our lives. Negative people. They add no value to the conversation. And I think Republican states should fly them to Haiti, like they fly immigrants to blue states, like New York City, California, Washington, D.C. That's my opening issue for this week. The freaking haters, far left haters of America. But if you want to join the conversation, live, we're every Thursday at 7 o'clock on your favorite YouTube, Fed Up with Politics. We're also on our Facebook group called the United States Constitutional Group. You can access either one, whatever you prefer, YouTube or Facebook. If you want to call in and talk with us, the number is 843-315-5273. Let's talk about why people hate America so much and what we can do to either get rid of them, change their minds. They're probably brainwashed. Most likely they're brainwashed. And there's really no help for them, but we can try. You know, let's join in the conversation and help take out these political hacks who are also haters of the USA, like AOC. Who else?
Bernie Sanders.
And the squad. And there's a few Republicans in there, you know, that don't like us. But join in, be part of the solution, not the problem. And we can do that with your help. So, Jack, what do you want to talk about tonight?
I'm going to talk about this latest indictment on Trump. We did a little bit, but not too much because whatever they are, they just showing that the United States is a banana republic now. But this one worries me a little bit because it's kind of going after our First Amendment. The right to protest on your government. So he got indicted on four counts. Count 1 is conspiracy to defraud the United States. Count 2, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Count 3, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. And count 4, conspiracy against rights, which is totally ironic that they are hitting him with that one.
They're pulling laws up they haven't used in 50 years.
I don't think they've ever used them ever. I mean, some of these were put in place for the 14th Amendment when
What's his name?
Yeah. What is it? Joe Crow?
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. All right. When the Jim Crow laws of, the racist Democrat Party down south back then was holding them back. So I think that's funny. Then, they're all conspiracy except for the third one. So I don't understand. It's almost like it's a state of mind is what they're saying. And I don't know how they know that. The only one that worries me, I mean, they all worry me for us, but for Trump himself is obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding because he's got Mike Pence who's going to testify against him. Mike Pence, he got caught with those confidential papers. Classified.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys got to help me with that. For some reason, that's a word that just blocks out of my head.
Could be old age.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like somebody
But it
else
could
I
be.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Mike.
Your
Uncle Mike.
And you.
So, they had that classified paperwork on him, and they cleared him on it, and they said, well, your dues for that, or you're going to testify against your old boss. And he's like, yeah, okay, I got it. So he's going to. That's a worry.
Isn't that funny that he's cleared of the classified documents? President can't change, but Trump is allowed to change them, and he's being attacked on that.
He's not being attacked anymore. He's indicted.
He's indicted. Yeah.
He's indicted for having that. Biden got him as a senator,
Right,
and a civilian,
and a vice president,
and a vice president,
and
nothing. Pence has it, nothing,
They
and every
say,
prince has
they
it.
say it's like different classified. A classified document is a classified document.
and he still has the right to change it as the president of the United States. I don't care what kind of confidential.
Well, the problem is
information,
it's stealing is stealing. If you got that, you're not supposed to have it. I don't care if it's up here or down here. If you're not supposed to have it, same crime.
All right, now who's taking charge of this?
A bureaucracy.
Because it used to be that they checked everything because it's actually the people's paperwork. It's the people's, whatever the president says is for us, and they're supposed to go through it before he leaves office. And certain things you're allowed to have, and certain things you can't.
Well, anyway, that's what bureaucracies do. Nothing. So
They take our money.
Yeah, they do that for sure. So I find it ironic with this that the last count is conspiracy against rights.
Yeah.
He should be worrying about obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceedings. That's something he has to worry about. The rest of it's trash. And it even says so right here. Because I printed it out, by the way. So I'm sure as everybody can figure, I always print it out. I print everything out. So it goes into introducing who he is in paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, it explains what he did and how he actually lied. They're saying he actually lied about the results of the 2020 election. And then paragraph 3 says this: defendant had a right, like every American, to speak publicly about the election and even to claim falsely that there had been an outcome determinative fraud during the election and that he had won. He was also entitled to formally challenge the results of the election through lawful and appropriate means, such as seeking recounts, audits, popular vote in states, or filing lawsuits challenging the ballot and procedure. So there they go, right away, saying that he's indicted on all of these things, but he had a right. All right, so that just shows the stupidity of everything.
I think it's funny that if a Republican does it, they're automatically indicted. They come out and say,
Well, it depends on what kind of Republican.
Right.
Mike Pence.
But if a Democrat
Okay.
does this, they get off. I mean, look at these medias. These mainstream medias. They say nothing about Biden's crime
No.
bullshit he's into.
Should be the government's media.
It is. That's
Because
what
it's
exactly
not
what it is.
I mean, they are definitely working for the government. If anybody doubts it, I mean, just listen to what's going on.
Doesn't matter what. If you're a liberal and listen to CNN, which is probably going out of business now because they're,
No, the government
Terrible.
keep them going.
you know, like MSNBC and all the other ones. But you got Newsmax. You got
Fox,
Fox News. Like
plus your local news.
I watched them for 5 minutes today. No, 15 minutes. And I just had to turn it off.
Yeah, well, I mean, even Newsmax is over the top with this. With this indictment, it's insane.
They're trying to brainwash people to go into their sides.
Well, it's
For
not
these
news.
Democrats, for these Republicans.
It's not news anymore.
It's opinion.
It's an opinion, right? Exactly. That's a perfect word for it. It's their opinion of the news. Whereas when I was a kid, I remember watching the news. All you heard was the news.
This
This
the
is
news.
what happened.
Paul Harvey.
Not their opinion about what happened. This happened, that happened, the other happened. We might lie on the weather. That was it.
You know, Walter Cronkite, Paul Harvey.
Now, like you said, it's opinion. It's opinion news.
I don't give a
It's
damn
their
about their
opinion
opinions.
of
Well, you don't need
Their
your
news.
opinion anymore. You just do like we do. It's a 4-page document. Just go up, boop, 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 enter it in, print it out. Read it yourself.
that's real.
Read it
And make
and make your own
opinion.
decision. Use your brain cells
Yeah.
and just. I mean, it explains every one of these indictment. You know, these crimes that they indicted them on. You don't need to find out what somebody's opinion is. Just print it. I mean, I read you the third paragraph. If that's not layman's terms.
I mean,
Like,
that
this
was
is
easy
not
to
complicated
understand.
stuff to read. I mean, it's literally,
We're charging him on this, but he has a right to do
But he
everything
really
he
has a
said.
like, you know, so, I mean, and, you know, we always like to hit on both sides of the aisle. So, you know, Republicans own half or 1/3 of the government they're running.
The Union Party.
Right, yeah, well, there you have it, exactly. Because they can stop this funding. But I tell you, the other ones, somebody was saying, you and Jack were saying, that Vivek, whatever his name is, Swami,
He's suing the DOJ.
he's suing
Yeah,
the
I
DOJ.
think
for
all
this.
the candidates should do that.
Yeah.
Here's why they should. Let's say, now we've been saying this for a long time, me and Dennis, I shouldn't say a long time, but since this all started with Trump starting to get these indictments in, me and Dennis have been saying, well, you know what, whoever's running against it better be careful, because in banana republics, whoever's the leading opponent is going to go through the same thing. So, you know, if the ultimate shoe drops, if the moon and the stars all line up for the Democrats, and Trump is taking off with his campaign somehow or another, now you're the leading candidate. Do you think you really want to be?
Yeah.
I mean, look what would happen if
You're next.
Ron DeSantis can't afford $100 million defense.
You would have to give it up.
So people are saying, yeah, but the guy's pretty squeaky clean. But these, again, they use the law to break the law, so they can lock him up for kidnapping. He took all them immigrants. He took all those immigrants from Mexico. They wouldn't even say Texas, and sent them to these other places.
Yeah.
And they can arrest him for human trafficking, kidnapping.
I'll tell you, if the Democrats win this next election, I think it's the last one.
Could be.
And also, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Oh, Banana Republic.
Would that make you
Do
hungry?
people understand what that is?
You know what these Democrats have done for Trump? They've made people like him more and more. Look at his fundraising numbers.
Yeah, the last one he got $14.1 million for his last indictment.
You know? They have 40. He's like 52%, 60% approval rating among Republicans.
Well, that's why they're going after him hard.
And I
He's
tell you what,
beating
the
Biden
other-
in the polls right now. I know it's early, but he's beating Biden in the polls.
I don't believe in any of them polls.
I don't either.
Because again, like they always say, there's that hidden constituent to Trump.
Yeah.
Because look what they're doing.
Well,
You can't admit in some of these states. You go to New York, California, Illinois. You can't admit that you are a Trump
you should
fan.
have seen in Trump in Pennsylvania. Anyone who had a Trump sign on there, F Trump was written graffiti on their signs.
It was like it was just on their signs and not on their house and mailbox.
Yeah, that was
Right.
the last time that he ran. That's why I couldn't understand. How did he lose Pennsylvania? There was signs for Trump's everywhere, but in my area anyway. It was, I don't know. They got to get rid of those mail-in ballots.
How did Fetterman win?
Oh, I bring that up all the time. And they said, well, the poor man had a stroke. He was not that smart before.
Right.
He should not be in office.
Well, the New York governor too.
Yeah,
How does she beat Lee Zeldin?
Exactly. What?
You know, she won. She won the boroughs. That's it. The 5 boroughs.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Long Island, Nassau and Suffolk has to have 8 million people living on there by now.
Yeah.
I think that, Albany and Buffalo, blue. The rest of upstate is red.
Yeah.
So, I get it. It's a full-time but
Out of
it's
64
starting to get
counties, probably 56 of them are red.
right. And that's what I'm saying is, I think Long Island can neutralize the 5 boroughs.
Yeah. Well, they got to stop this mail-in ballot. It's corrupt.
Well, we'll see what happens because
And that's
they don't
banana.
have.
That's part of the banana republic right there too.
They don't have what do you call it? COVID to keep everybody home and mail them out this time.
Yeah, but didn't they have it last election?
That's what he's talking about. They don't have it now.
Well, they had it for the last election.
For 2022. Well, here you go again, Mike. We could have had. Listen, my opinion, they're cheating. There's no way that this guy got 81 million and Trump got 75 million with 160 million registered, people that are able to vote.
They say that 100% people voted in the election.
Yeah.
There is 100% people registered to vote in this nation.
So, right there, it tells you something's askew.
Yeah.
So all right. So,
But it wasn't
you're indicting Trump for this. Why would not every American in the country say, hey, "Excuse me, how is that 81 and 75?"
Yeah, we need a recount.
But the thing is, it's not the Democrats are doing the cheating. They are. It's also the Republicans doing the cheating too.
Well,
The Democrats just do it better right now.
Yeah.
Well, they have more power than Democrats. Right now, they have the press, like Jack was saying, and they have the law.
bureaucracies.
They were talking about that.
yeah. So
We're going to talk about bureaucracies here and hopefully wake some people up.
now, when do we start blaming the people? I mean, they voted those
Now.
two people, the Fetterman
2 years
and
ago.
the governor of New York. They voted them in.
How about Chicago voting that?
Yeah, I mean,
They
what is going on in these people's minds? Like you said, maybe it is brainwashing. through the media.
Seattle's mayor literally gets elected again after
How?
burning the city down.
Now, you know what? It's their fault now.
Yes.
Unless there's someone's cheating, if they're voting for these people, you got what you asked for. That's what you wanted.
Well, now you got a question. Is it cheating? I don't know.
I don't know.
Now they got us questioning everything,
Yeah.
which is called gaslighting.
Huh?
Yeah, we'll
Very
talk about
good.
that. We'll talk about that soon.
Bam!
But our economy is on the wrong track. Just ask every American.
Yeah.
I filled up my tank today, $3.60 a gallon.
Cost
You know
me
why?
$55 yesterday.
Because the oil pumps can't pump oil when it's hot out.
When did this happen? We've been doing this for about 100 years now.
But all of a sudden now it's an issue. Because they're politicians. They're the problem. And the president. They really are. But they have help. Yes, I'm sure no one wants to believe it, but they do. They have help. And it's worse than what we imagine, Jack.
Actually, it's almost like they're the help.
Yeah, for them. Yep.
They're just there to, we'll stand you up there. You do exactly what we say.
Pretty much. That's what we talk about here in a minute.
Sorry.
No, it's good you bring it up like that. We talk about bureaucracies a lot on this show, but I don't think most of us realize how bad the situation is. We already know that our current hacks in Congress don't write their own bills any longer. And debate is all about gone.
It
They don't
is.
debate anymore. They just yell
Well,
at
there
each
is
other.
no debate.
You know, they fight in the hallways nowadays. There's no decorum whatsoever. Any law that is passed by these so-called tyrants, or politicians, if you want to call them that, I call them tyrants, is written by someone in a bureaucracy that controls most of this country. The rich corporations and their owners and the Federal Reserve Bank. They are the ones in charge, not politicians. Go ahead.
James says it's called election fraud.
You know, basically, we have a small group of wealthy people telling our government what we should do. When a new law comes out for like financial reasons, the Fed writes it. They give it to the party in the majority to get it passed. Now, when FDR set up agencies to oversee the country, that was when all the problems started.
Yep.
And now, because of that, we have less democratic control, and there's no way we can rule in these agencies because of the power they have right now with the current politicians we have.
Yeah, the bureaucracies are bigger than the politicians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they got the three branches of government in their bureaucracies.
So let me ask you this. Why does the Department of Agriculture tell farmers what they can plant and what they can't plant? That's not fair.
That was from FDR too. The case that went there was about wheat.
You know, the Food and Drug Administration, they tell us what medicine we can take. They don't know me. My personal doctor knows me.
Actually, they almost forced it on us. In New York, they pretty much did. You don't take this medication, you lose your job. As far as the vaccines are concerned.
There's so many medicines that are being developed. You know what? Someone's got to try them. Let the doctors decide what they give us, not these bureaucratic freaking idiots who haven't seen a patient in probably 15, 20 years.
And work for the pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Oh, I forgot
No
to say that
conflict
in
of
this
interest.
year Trump thing, that the judge
Judge.
used to work
Right.
for Biden
Yep, and Burisma board.
That is
on the Burisma board.
people. If you can't see the corruption here, I don't understand.
I forgot all about that.
You know, the Federal Communications Commission tells media and radio stations what their content should be, what they can say, basically what they can talk about. What bullshit is that? You know, do one more. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Yeah,
They take care of mortgages.
yeah. The government's supposed to be doing mortgages. Give me a break.
Are they any good?
I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
tried
Didn't they
for
help
it. They
cause
told
the
me I
crowd-
wasn't qualified.
Didn't they like help cause the housing crash in 2008?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they
along
gave
with the
it
Fed
zero,
Reserve, the
yeah.
Fed.
They give out 100% mortgages.
You know, but people are being controlled by these agencies, and our spineless politicians just sit behind their little coward desks.
What a big. It's a big day.
That's right. I forgot the $40,000 desk.
Please
Why
don't
should-
get me started on that.
Why should we, the people, have a thumb on us all the time by the bureaucracies who control everything in our society? That is why politicians tax us so much. So these agencies, these bureaucracies, get our tax dollars. You know, the Food and Drug Administration, the requested budget for next year, 2024, which starts in October, for $7.2 billion. I don't know how much they got, what's going to be up, what they're going to get, but it's probably going to be close to $7.2
They
billion.
probably got $8.2 billion.
Yeah. So the Federal Communications Commission, their total budget for 2023 is $388 million.
Can I say something about that?
No.
Every court case that they brought in, they lost. The FCC. And they want more money.
You know, the annual
Really?
budget.
Yeah, they lost every single one.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
See, you learn something new every day. You know, the annual budget for the Department of Education is $68 billion.
$68 billion.
Our lackluster tyrants, the annual congressional budget is $1.7 trillion.
That is outrageous. Every time you say it, drives me nuts. If they don't do anything, their salaries added together doesn't add up to close to $1.7 billion, $1 trillion.
Mike's losing his hair over there.
How does that happen? Who gets? Somebody's getting this money.
He lost his beard.
Yeah. Mike's losing his hair over this.
It's
It gets worse.
outrageous.
It gets worse. We contribute 117 billion to the International Monetary Fund,
Jeez.
which is our taxes going there.
And our
And
taxes.
that's going to form this new world order.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
They
that's
hate
what all of
America.
this is
They hate
going
America.
to.
These G4 countries, these G20 nations hate America, but they need the U.S. tax rate.
Well,
Yeah, that international
in order
monetary
to
fund
get
is terrible.
one world order, they have to bring the U.S. down.
The
To
United
everybody
States
else.
pays the most of any country to that IMF.
It's terrible. That's
You know,
that's a very.
I want to talk about the G20 nations and how we're losing our stature in the world.
Uh-huh.
But we'll talk about that at a later date. But it's serious. It's very serious, and we need to act now
Hmm.
before we end up with this new world order. We pay enough in taxes already. We work more and more to pay more and more taxes.
And they
I don't know
don't.
about you. I'm tired of it.
They don't pay. They don't pay any domestic debts with it either.
No, they don't. We pay taxes on taxes. We already paid for. These tyrants are getting out of hand. Because every time you look, they want to raise your taxes. They want to raise the gas tax. They want to raise your sales tax in the state. Then the town wants to. The county wants to. This town, the municipality. When does it end?
Yeah, it's all the hidden taxes.
We're working for nothing because all our money's going to them. You know,
But you figure your income tax is 28%. South Carolina's state tax is 10%. I don't know if we pay an Horry County tax.
yeah, we do.
Then your tax
Yeah,
on
your
your
vehicle
fuel
taxes.
is 8%.
Take your vehicle
Alcohol
taxes,
tax,
property taxes.
cigarette
Your
tax.
sales tax 10%.
You know, listen, I blame the politicians for making America reliant on other countries, but they could care less.
No,
It's your money.
their world is set.
Hey, we're not. It's their money we're giving. It's people's money. Why should we care?
They're playing with house money.
You know who I blame?
$1.7 trillion they got left to pick from.
You know, I blame us, the voting constituents, for voting these same clowns in year after year, for sitting on our asses
Decades.
for decades
Yeah.
and doing nothing,
Lifetimes in some of them.
Yeah.
but doing nothing, but making them more powerful, more brazen. Stop voting for these parties. They're not the answer. They can't even tell us the truth anymore. They lie to our faces because they know that America will collapse if and when the problems we face come out in public. That's how bad it is. They have to lie to us. But we see through it, and yet we do nothing.
It's very insulting that they cannot tell you
The truth.
the truth or anything else you need to know.
Jack, they don't even answer a question. They talk in a circle. You ask them a question, they talk
Well, that's
in a
always
circle,
been
they
with,
go around,
with politicians.
and nothing is
That's because
said.
the people don't hold them down to the question. That's not what I asked. I asked this.
But to talk down to you, like,
Well,
how
Biden
dare
does that
you?
all the time.
They all do.
Who do you? I graduated from so and so, and I am a congressman. Who
You're
do
just a
you?
moron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the guy who voted you in.
You
No
know,
respect.
we can and must do better to rid these, in my opinion, morons out of their political seats and into the nearest prison.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
most are criminals, and the ones who aren't criminals should be impeached for treason for not calling the traitors out.
Yeah, and everyone who goes into jail loses their desk.
We, the voters, are the only ones to get term limits placed in this Constitution. But we need an entire new group of lawmakers to start that process. And it doesn't start with the Republican or Democratic parties. And I also don't believe that states should have an Article 5 Constitution to change this Constitution. That is our document. The Constitution is our document. And we, the people, should decide if term limits should be enacted. It should be placed on a ballot so we can vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, done at the ballot box, not by a group of individuals in each state, because they're just as corrupt and tyrants, just as our politicians are. You know, and most of them are going to be politicians anyway. You know, elected.
These people that you don't trust.
Yeah, people you don't trust. They're going to be on the
will be in
Constitution.
charge of changing.
Are going to be on the state
Constitution.
convention. So we need to change that in our founding document, that we, the people, should vote for our Constitution, not politicians. We know they're no good. We know they're gaslighting us every day. But we need to get off our asses and stop voting for these two parties. We can't do any worse than what they're doing. Jackie, what are you saying that?
Yeah, I think you really, really should be careful what you wish for with that Article 5 state convention, because you're opening up the entire Constitution. Now, a lot of folks don't realize you have to send it into Congress what you want changed in what kind of amendments you want to make on the Constitution. So you have to send it in, give them a time frame for them to vote on it. They don't vote on it, then you bring it back and you have a state convention. So the problem with that is now the entire Constitution is open.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, okay, so you got Republicans involved in it and Democrats, but you also have Republicans like Mitt Romney,
And AOC.
Mitch McConnell,
Mitch McConnell,
Lindsey Graham.
These people are going to be part of this Article 5. You and I ain't going to be part of it.
They are these dangerous people.
Go ahead, Jack.
I just want to say, whoever's watching this, please share and like this podcast. It's a big group. And if you have any questions, the paper's behind you. And we appreciate everybody watching.
All right, good job, Jack. But it was done one other time with the Papers of the Confederate. They weren't supposed to form the Constitution. So the last Constitution Convention changed the entire government. And let me tell you something. You give these politicians an opportunity
They will.
to change that, because who's looking to get the Article 5? It's run by politicians that aren't politicians anymore. They got voted out. So this is their way of staying relevant and probably getting themselves back in. So is that one of the callers that you told to call?
No, that's the guy I work with. Was he
Okay.
watching? Let's see. What's up, Steve?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good.
Got a question for you.
Let me call you right back. Let me call you right back.
All right. That wasn't a caller.
That was work. That was work.
But anyway, listen. If everybody in America knew the Constitution like we're supposed to know the Constitution, I would feel better with it. Politicians are doing, again, the good news about our government is that they haven't ruined the Constitution yet. They're not abiding by it, but they haven't changed yet. So there's still a chance. But if we give it to them, not knowing yourself what's in there,
Forget about
you're done. You just
it. There is
said
no constitution.
it's just like giving them a blank check. Here you go.
It's
We
a
the
new government.
people.
It's the
This is-
government they always wanted.
This is our government. We should be the ones to change it.
Yes.
And we know we need to change it to make it better. Get rid of these career politicians. Step up to the plate and help out. Make this a reality forever, for all of us, for our future generations. Because they're not going to have freedoms we had.
Mm-mm.
Unless we do something now.
And they're not even going to know they didn't get them.
Yep.
Because the $68 billion Board of Ed
Yeah.
is not teaching them.
Nope. So Jack and I just completed our edits for our book, Politicians Gaslighting Americans.
Yay!
The price is going to be under $20. Hoping for around $17, but very affordable for everyone. And you, the Facebook community, helped in making up this book. Look for further questions in the future, because we're going to write another book. So we'll need you to answer them shortly. We're going to end. The people of America on Facebook helped us create this book. So this is for you, as it is for us. We just had the pleasure of writing it. It wouldn't be coming out without your help. Hopefully by Monday, it will be at the printer. In the next few weeks, we can get out to you.
We'll see.
Do some book signings.
Hopefully they get us in front of some audiences.
Hopefully get on some news media channels.
Yeah, the ones that we keep kicking down.
Good.
Bring them on. I tell you what, I would love to do a news with this book with some politicians on there.
Mm-hmm.
How does this make you feel to see a paragraph?
Yeah. So we're ready to wrap things up for tonight. So Jack, what are your final thoughts?
Dang, I just said them before.
You did? You have nothing new to say? I've never seen you like out of words.
I'm happy and excited about getting this book out.
Yeah. I think we're all pretty excited.
I was a little slow on it when Dennis was going full steam. I kind of because I'm not a Facebook guy. But as you read it, you start answering the too easy for me to say.
Yeah.
It's nice to read the responses back and forth. So I'm looking forward for the next one. I want to engage in it more. I'm doing some research on some of the subjects already. I know Dennis is waiting for this book to get out and start going before he really gets up to his eyeballs in it. But I'm happy for it.
Yeah,
That's all.
I'm happy for you guys too.
Mike, you got any final
Well,
thoughts?
what I think is that everyone please buy this book so Dennis and Jack can get their $40,000 desk.
Hey, we got a desk right
We
here.
got a nice desk, Mike.
It's begging for me to carve some stuff in it.
I think
Dennis
that
won't let
would be, yeah, like maybe get one of those fire hot,
It's never gonna happen.
throw your name in there, and carve your name.
I could put
little
that old
hearts.
thing, Jack and Missy,
We're here.
11/7/87.
Not gonna happen, folks. So remember, if you want to participate, join the conversation. We're here live every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, on our YouTube, Fed Up with Politics, and on our Facebook group, the United States Constitutional Group, or you can call in at 843-315-5273. Be part of the solution in your city, town, and state. Don't say it can't be done. You never know what can be achieved until we give it your best effort. Don't be a doer, not a naysayer, like the far left liberal I talked about earlier.
Yeah, right.
Mike, can you lead us in prayer?
I think
Yes,
she was
I
still
can.
trying to piss us off.
Psalm 7:17. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and I will sing praises to the name of the Lord Most High. Let's pray. Please, Lord, bless and protect this new party, this podcast, and all that work on it and all that listen to it. Lord, please have mercy on this nation and have our leaders do your will. Without you, Lord, our life would be weighed down by sin. So we begin our day by praising your righteousness. You are our righteous, glorious Lord, the only one who heals our sin. We know our joy comes from you, your hand, and we thank you for it. We thank you for all your blessings you've given us. We thank you for the mercy towards us. Thank you for the sharing of joy as we are. Thank you, Lord, for sharing our joy as well as our sorrows. I can't see.
Mike, you sure you wrote this prayer?
I got to write it down or I forget it, but I should have done it in pencil. Be with us in every moment of our days. We pray this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
That was a rough one for him.
Yeah.
I was kind of praying that he would get through the prayer.
Yeah. I can't see it. I usually put it in marker, but I forgot.
Yeah, Mike's used to carving things in stone.
You know, like Jack said earlier, the Trump indictment is online, 45 pages. You don't have to go to a news agency to listen to them for an hour and talk about the same thing and get all freaking frustrated because they're not talking about anything else. That's all they're doing on it. Fox News, 15 minutes I watched them, they had specialists on, to talk about Trump
Got a
and this
little-
indictment.
Newsmax too, same thing.
Freaking opinions, I could care less about for them. I care about the opinions of the people. We the people. So do your research. Do your research on what you pay for taxes. Federal, state, gas tax, inflation.
All the budgets are up there.
Yep. Find out. I mean, if you want to talk about the Department of Education, you want to see that? You want to talk about the NIH? Health and Human Services? They're billions of dollars.
Trillions.
Probably.
Remember we did the one Health and Human Services was trillions.
They're the ones that can make their own budget.
Right, and they could go back for more.
Yeah.
And
Just
now people
underneath,
know.
just underneath the NIH, there's 36 different agencies.
Yep.
It's huge, folks.
Yeah, the Health and Human Services is the NIH is on the back.
Yeah.
It's just
And a great part when you do your own research,
But
you'll be amazed at what you find.
where do you think it's $68 billion for education? Do you think that's going to the schools? I don't think so.
I don't think anything's going to the school.
I don't think so at all. The schools are falling apart.
Knowledge is power. And with power and knowledge, you can no longer be silent. Thanks for joining us. We wish everybody a great weekend.